Good morning, all. I'm just finishing tech setup here, opening the Discord. Okay, it's Saturday, so extra shenanigans are in order. Good morning, friends. So we are going to go ahead and have a chat. How are you, Dee Dee? We're going to go ahead and have the chats open. We're going to see if I can keep up with it. It'll be like chat roulette. I've got Kick, YouTube, TikTok, and Discord all open. So, let's see. You guys going to give me a run for my money? Yeah? Okay, let's do it. A run for my mouth. Ah! There I go, kicking stones. Kicking stones already this morning. Go kick rocks. Be prepared for shenanigans. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. I am doing well. Thank you, Dee Dee. Let me make sure that my camera is aligned in all the places. Yes, it is. Do me a favor, you guys, if you see anything lag or anything happen to one of the channels, definitely let me know. And we are going to get our morning started. So, for those of you who do not know me, hello. My name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. I am your shenanigan shaman, so please do not expect to take yourself too seriously. And here there are lots of places all over the world, all over the internet, that you can go take yourself very fucking seriously. This is not really one of those places. We do talk about serious things, but we weave playfulness and shenanigans into pretty much all of it, because that's one of my favorite ways to shake off stuck energy, really. So, these are our Bhakti Bites classes. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care, because self-care is often the last thing on our to-do list and the first thing we cut out of our day when we get too busy. Not today. Not today. Tell your to-do list. Not today, to-do list. I am getting my self-care in. So our self-care sessions usually consist of learning a mindfulness tool and practicing that mindfulness tool in a brief meditation. I go live 4 times a week, 3 times for Bhakti Bites and 1 time for Tiny Yoga, and we build upon our Mudra all week long. So if you missed the early sessions, that's okay. We're going to keep building on the Mudra. If you want to go back and see the replays are always on YouTube. I love you, YouTube. Replays are always on YouTube. You can find all of them there. I've been cultivating that channel since about November of last year, and like I said, we go live 4 times a week. So there's a lot of videos. There's over 200 videos, over 200. Are there over 200 replays? There's at least over 100 replays. There's probably more than that. The rest of it's some content, but mostly replays. So, let's get into it. You do not need to have a perfectly quiet, undisturbed place to join us for this practice. You do not need to be an expert in meditation. In fact, I encourage you, if you feel like you cannot meditate, please come join us, because there's a lot of misconceptions about meditation, and we are not here. We are not in the business. Yes, sorry, thank you, Dee Dee, so much. My YouTube is at Move with Change. I am Move with Change on pretty much all the platforms. The most interaction you're going to get is on our Discord. You can get access to my Discord, free access to the Discord, on my Patreon page. That's patreon.com at Move with Change. Thank you so much, Dee Dee, for the reminder. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, Eric, how are you? I've been missing you, my friend, so much. So much. There's so many funky shifts and things happening, guys. So many moves, shaking and moving. Okay, so what mudra have we been working with this week? The Makara mudra. You guys want to laugh with me? You guys want to laugh with me? One of my favorite practices for growth is to laugh with myself. Okay, so we've been practicing this mudra this week, and twice so far I've said to you guys, it's called Makara, and Makara translates to mythical sea creature. Well, when I did my research finally, actually, so last night I was playing with asanas. I was playing with some yoga flows, trying to come up with some really, really shenanigan infused yoga flow for you guys, so watch out, that's definitely coming. But I did crocodile pose, and as I did crocodile pose, I thought the Sanskrit word, as I often do for practice. Makarasana, 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 Makara Mudra. Yeah, it's the same thing. So the translation, the literal translation is like sea creature, or sea beast, or mythical sea, whatever, but it is the word for crocodile. So this mudra, right? We've been talking about how this mudra nourishes the sacral chakra. So this is how we do the mudra. If you have missed it or you've forgotten, that's okay. This is how we do our mudra. Remember, guys, 2 things. No more than the weight of a nickel on your connections in your mudra. So when we make connections, make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on your connections. You're not trying to pop your fingers. You're not trying to, I don't know, make impressions in your hand. Just like an electrical current. All you have to do, right? Tell me, dear carpenter, all you have to do is make a connection, a brief connection, or not a brief connection, a gentle connection. Sometimes you don't even have to connect them at all, and the electrical current will jump between the 2 points, right? That is how mudras work. They work to redirect the energy channels in the body. So we don't need a ton of pressure. All we need is touch. No more than the weight of a nickel. So the Makara Mudra is done like so. Take your left hand and bring the ring finger into the thumb. This is called the Prithvi Mudra. It is the earth gesture, okay? So remember that as we build our mudra. Left hand with the connection between your ring finger and your thumb. The rest of your fingers remain extended. This is not an overextension. I'm not stretching my hand. I am keeping them extended with only my intention, not tension, no tension in my hand. No more than the weight of a nickel between my ring finger and my thumb, and intention only, extending the other 3 fingers. Now, I add to this mudra, my left hand, by taking my right, bringing all the fingers together, palm flat, thumb extended. Place your thumb between the webbing of your ring and middle finger, resting it gently in your palm, okay? No more than the weight of a nickel. No more than the weight of a nickel. Then turn your hand so that your palm rests gently on the back side. You can curl it around a little bit. You can keep it open if you'd like to, but this is the base for the Makara Mudra. So the Makara Mudra essentially looks like so. It looks like a lot of fingers, right? It looks like a lot of fingers all mixed together. So we have the left side, the left hand like so, and the right comes dipping right in here to touch the palm and hold the hand. Again, you can curl the fingers around gently or leave them open, all within tension. There is no tension in this mudra. Then we rest the mudra in front of the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is located between the pubic bone and the belly button. It's represented by the color orange. I've got some nice orange stones here today because we are going to add to our practice. So it's recommended that you hold mudras for at least 5 minutes. This mudra brings heat to the sacral chakra. It brings heat to the lower belly. Now remember, the sacral chakra is our breadbasket. This is our umbilical cord to the world. This is our chakra for nourishment. It's also the chakra for intimacy. So it doesn't just mean physical nourishment, right, by food or water or things like that, but it also means emotional nourishment. In fact, this is the seat of where we store a lot of our emotional attachments and unconscious things, as well as a lot of our trauma. A lot of us deal with lower chakra trauma just by the culture that we've been raised in and the way that we've been raised. So a lot of energy gets stuck down here. And if energy is stuck down here, we can struggle to ground ourselves, and we can also struggle to bring energy up to those higher chakras. So there's a lot that can be thrown out of balance when we have these lower chakras out of balance, imbalanced. So what is the message of the Makara Mudra? It is the mudra for fertility. And Makara is referring to, yes, a mythical sea creature, a crocodile. And what do crocodiles represent? But the balance of the soft belly of this ferocious beast, right? A beast that can, with powerful, powerful, powerful jaws, but then one that also rests and waits and so patiently just to catch something, right? It has something with quick movement as well as lots of patience. So these are the balance of duality, right? These are you can represent as action and inaction, action and rest, masculine and feminine, upward energy and downward energy. So we see the balance of these energies. Now, when we bring this mudra to the sacral chakra, we're going to add a little bit more to this, because the crocodile also represents the balance between water and earth. The sacral chakra is a water center, all those watery emotions in there, right? And this Prithvi mudra is the mudra for earth. This is the earth gesture, as I mentioned before. So we bring the earth gesture in to the water center, to our emotional center, grounding out and releasing all those mudras. Okay, so initially on Monday, we just sat with the mudra. On Tuesday, we added a little bit more to the mudra. Or excuse me, on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we added a little bit more to the mudra. Today, we are going to add a mantra. Each of these chakras have what's called a bij mantra, or a seed mantra. It is a sound. Remember, Sanskrit is the language of resonance. So the words are about the frequency at which we resonate those words. So each chakra has a resonant mantra for it, a frequency mantra. And the mantra for the sacral chakra is VAM, simple V-A-M, VAM. And you say it just like you would Om, okay? So you take a deep breath in and go VAM. You can extend your M, VAM, after the O, or A, V-A-M, VAM. This is the mantra for the sacral chakra. You can do it extended, or you can simply say 7 times, because we use the number 7 for the chakras. VAM, 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 VAM. Okay, so we're going to you guys ready we're going to sit for a little bit more than 5 minutes. It's recommended that you hold mudras for 5 minutes. When we add a piece like a mantra, I like to hold it for a little bit more. I've got my phone here so I can pay attention to time this time. Sometimes, yes, I do get caught up in the meditation. So, if you've got 2 minutes, join us. If you've got 15 minutes and end up hanging out after we stop the meditation, great, join us. If you've never done mudras, if you've never done meditation, I invite you to join us, okay? But the other thing, that second thing about mudras, remember the second thing about mudras, first thing, no more than the weight of a nickel. Second thing, always modify to honor where you are in the moment. If you are doing this mudra and you notice too much heat in your belly, if you start to feel uncomfortable, if it gives you some weird sensations that don't feel right, pause. You can always come back to the mudra, right? You can just rest your hands in your lap if you need to pause with the mudra, and you can sit for the rest of the meditation. You can never take up the mudra again if it doesn't work for you. But if you find that a little bit of rest and you're ready to come back, then do so. Follow your intuition. You are your own guru. I can provide the information. It is up to you to use it for your unique particular circumstances. I am not in your body. I am not in your space. I cannot do this thing for you. This is a tool that if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not for you. It's okay to just say, okay, that's not for me. There's other mudras, there's so many other mudras, and there's so many other practices that you can adopt that would be more aligned for where you're at in the moment. And if you find that you do this mudra and it doesn't feel right, don't chide yourself, don't bitch at yourself, right? Don't put yourself down, and don't throw out mudras. Don't throw out mindfulness as a whole. This is one small grain of sand in the ocean that is mindfulness practices. So I offer in Bhakti Bites, this is why we do them in Bhakti Bites, I offer grains of sand. I offer beard snacks, right? Tiny little things for us to practice for us to, thanks brain, for us to build a sand castle with, right? All of these little pieces of sand, all of these little grains of sand of mindfulness. If we bring them all in one by one, we can build our little sand castle in here. I love that. Thank you, brain. Okay, guys. Okay, so what are the mudras or the mantras for the 7 chakras? We're not doing the chakras right now. We are doing, there's a variety of mudras that are associated with the different chakras based on the energy of the mudra. So there's not one specific mudra for each chakra. But if you're asking about mantras, we're not doing the whole system today. But I am putting out a chakra workshop, hopefully next month, that covers all the chakras, the entire energy system, the minor chakras, as well as tools and tips and tricks to ground, clear, balance, and protect your energy body. So watch for that. You will find that on patreon.com. Your personal conviction is to refrain from chanting mantras that you don't know the translation of. Awesome. That's fantastic. Like I said, the mantras for chakras are the bij mantras. They're the seed sounds, like Om, right? Om is the resonance of the universe. It is the frequency of the universe. And with Sanskrit is, the reason we can see multiple translations sometimes of the same word in Sanskrit is because it's a language of resonance, and because it's more, again, about resonating the sound than it is about the definition of the word. We've played with that with the Makara Mudra today from this week, right? Makara means, literally translated, sea creature or sea beast, but it's the Hindi word for crocodile. So, Sanskrit is an exceptional language. I highly encourage you to learn it if it interests you. But I also want to say, I honor and respect that piece, and I'm really glad that you know where your boundaries are and you know what's right for you. And that is the kind of magic that I am talking about. That's the kind of authenticity I am talking about. If you're here and you're hanging out and you're like, this doesn't resonate, that's okay. You can hang out still, even if it doesn't resonate, and if it doesn't resonate, you can also go somewhere else. That's totally cool too, right? We're not here to force anything on anyone. I am here to share the tools that have been helpful for me, that have changed my life, that have changed the way that I interact with myself, with each other, with other people, with my life, with my work, with my God, with my everything. So I share the tools that I have found the most powerful and the most effective. And I have been practicing these tools to varying degrees since I was a child. I was gifted with energy work when I was little, and I have continued to build on it since. I have intentionally gone around the world, traveling and researching and studying, mostly because I felt like I was a broken human. Thanks, friend. And I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to bring myself back home to me. And when I finally did that, I realized how fucking powerful this shit is, and I could just hand it out to you guys too. So I offer the 4 free classes a week. Come enjoy those. But I also do, we also have a Sangha. We've also got private coaching and private practice sessions and group coaching and all kinds of cool stuff. Again, you can find the link for that on my Patreon. But for now, we are going to sit with this mudra for a minimum 5-minute meditation, probably a couple minutes more, because I'm going to be using the seed mantra for the sacral chakra. Again, the seed mantra is VAM, V-A-M, and you are more than welcome to go ahead and start studying some Sanskrit if you'd like to understand the bij mantras, the seed words, the seed sounds better. So the bij mantra for the sacral chakra is VAM. Again, FAM, VAM, V-A-M, V-A-M. And the Makara Mudra, which nourishes the kidneys and the pancreas, which nourishes the hair and the nails, which restores the body's vitality, which releases emotional holding, releases our attachment to emotions that are literally weighing us down, literally weighing down in our root chakra, often blocking us from grounding. and blocking us from pulling that earth energy, that divine feminine energy up into our system as well. So the Makara Mudra is done like so. Left hand, drop your ring finger to touch your thumb. Right hand, palm flat, fingers extended, thumb out. Bring the thumb in between the webbing of the ring finger and the pinky. Place the thumb gently. Remember, no more than the weight of a nickel with any of your connections. Place the thumb gently on the palm and then rest the hand. Allow the right hand to rest on the back of the left. You can keep it open, or you can gently let it curl around the left hand. And then we hold this at the sacral chakra. Palm facing up. And when you are ready, remember that you can, if you are walking, you can hold this mudra while you're walking. I don't recommend closing your eyes while you're walking, but hey, if you're really good at it, why not? Nobody come back to me telling me they fell. If you are doing your mudra and closing your eyes, make sure that it's the right thing for you, right? You are responsible for you. You are your own guru. Find yourself a little bit of space to hold this mudra if it's available to you. If it's not available to you, you can still hang out and catch the good vibes that are swirling around in here. But when you are ready, you can be seated, you can be walking, you could be in the car, you could be at home, you could be laying down. When you are ready to close your eyes, please go ahead and gently drop those eyelids over those eyeballs. Seal your lips and take a deep breath in through the nose, pulling the breath through the lungs and all the way into the belly. And sigh it out. Inhale again, lifting the heart and elongating the spine. And let it go. Inhale once more, expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. Hold at the top. And slowly release. Reseal the lips and begin breathing through the nose, inhaling and exhaling, a slow, steady rhythm. Allow your awareness to rest on the breath. So as you inhale, you can listen for the sound, you can focus on the sensation, you can simply tell yourself, I am breathing in, or you can say inhale. Whatever works to assist you in anchoring your awareness onto the breath. Please use the technique that works for you, but bring your awareness to rest on the inhale and on the exhale. Inhaling all the way to the top and exhaling all the way to the bottom. Allowing the breath to anchor you into the present moment. As we breathe our way into meditation, sometimes our mind monkeys doth protest. So shall they be protesting this morning? I invite you to lead them back to your breath, to simply return your awareness to your breath. Every time you notice a mind monkey has run off with your attention, just gently, lovingly, patiently return your awareness to your breath. No need to chide yourself, no need to create a battle within yourself, an argument, judgment, none of that. You simply notice and come back without emotion, without attachment. Remember that the most important parts of meditation are your intention and your attention. So your intention right now is simply to follow the breath, is to anchor yourself into the present moment by following the breath. Hold that intention as you inhale and exhale any tension in the body, allowing your awareness to rest squarely on the breath. Keep breathing. Allow the breath to soothe you, lull you into a space of stillness. If your mind monkeys are busy this morning, continue to offer yourself patience. Some mornings, my mind monkeys never quiet down. And my entire practice is just bringing my awareness back to my breath. That is meditation. Same as perfectly still is meditation. Meditation is the practice. Mindfulness is the process. It's not a destination. If you'd like to build upon your practice, I invite you to take up the mantra. Otherwise, you are welcome to stay simply in the beginning part of this practice where we just breathe. If you'd like to add the mantra, again, the mantra is VAM. And I am going to say it 7 times for 7 rounds, because there are 7 major chakras, major energy points in the body. We use the number 7 when practicing anything for the chakras. So I'm going to do it somewhat rapidly. I will go slow at first so you can join me and catch the sound, and then we're going to move a little bit faster as I move through each of these rounds. I do like to either use my fingers to keep track, so this is going to be a little funny with the mudra. I'm going to have to go a little bit slower so I don't say too many. Okay. So the mantra again is VAM, V-A-M. And when we say this mantra, you can say it quietly to yourself. You can say it in your head. If you have it in you, I invite you to say it aloud. If you have the space for it, I invite you to say it with confidence. I invite you to speak this as if it were a fact into your reality. VAM, the mantra for aligning the sacral chakra. Go ahead and take a deep breath in to begin. VAM, 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 VAM. First round. Second round, inhale. VAM, 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 VAM. Check on your mudra. Make sure to release any tension, too much pressure on the mudra, no more than the weight of a nickel. And return to the third round of your mantra. Inhaling. Vam, 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 vam. Relax any tension in the body. Take a deep breath in, elongating the spine, lifting the heart. Moving into the fourth round. Vam, 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 vam. Relax the shoulders. Take another deep breath in, fifth round. Vam, 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 vam. Deep breath in, sixth round. Vam, 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 vam. Last one. Deep breath in. Vam, 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 vam. Release the breath. Relax the shoulders. Elongate the spine. Lift the heart. Holding your mudra with no more than the weight of a nickel just below your belly button. Beginning at the top of the head, scan the body, slowly moving down the back of the head, the sides of the head, the ears, the forehead, the nose, the eyes, the cheeks, the lips, the chin, the jawline, all the way around the neck, the right shoulder, the left shoulder, all the way down, melting the shoulder blades down the back, all the way down the back up to the armpits, down the sides of the body, back up to the front body, the upper chest, front of your shoulders, and down both arms. Notice any sensations, notice any tension, and release the tension you find only with your intention. Scanning the body as you move down the chest, over the rest of the rib cage, to the lower torso, to the belly, down into the hips, down the right leg, all the way down to the right foot, back up the left foot, all the way up the left side of the leg, up through the hip, and landing squarely on your belly button. Rest your awareness gently on your belly button. Smile at your belly button. Offer your belly button gratitude for being that umbilical cord, for receiving divine prana, for receiving life force, for storing life force, for transmuting life force into creative expression, into creativity, into nourishment that feeds body, mind, and soul. Offer your belly button some gratitude for being so damn cute. Take a few more moments here, resting, allowing the dust to settle from our mantra practice. You may stay here as long as is available to you. I highly encourage it. When you feel complete, I invite you to release the mudra and bring your hands together to prayer, or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice. In gratitude for this space available. In gratitude for this body. This magnificent meat bag. In gratitude for this heart beating steadily. In gratitude for this breath. Exchanging life force with the rest of the universe. And offer yourself a little gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. I'm glad you made it. Thank you so much for joining me for yet another Bhakti Bites. When you are ready to come out of meditation, please do so slowly, offering yourself some wiggles and some stretches, and really only opening your eyes when you are fully committed to coming back to reality. Oh, Doggo does his stretch too. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So that is our, hey friends. So that is our Makara Mudra. The Makara Mudra, as we were talking about this week, Makara translates to sea animal, sea beast, aka mythical sea creature, aka a crocodile. And the crocodile represents the balance between water and earth, represents the balance between movement and rest. So our Makara Mudra is done like so. With your left hand, drop your ring finger to touch the tip of your thumb. Leaving the other three fingers extended. Turn the palm up and use your right hand, palm facing forward, fingers extended, thumb out. Tuck your thumb between the webbing of your pinky and your ring finger to place it gently on the palm. And then turn your hand, turn the right hand to rest on the back of the left hand. You can leave the fingers open like so, or you can let them gently roll around the mudra. And then this mudra is held right at or below the belly button. This is the sacral chakra. So we hold this at the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is a water element chakra. So this is the earth gesture mudra. And we bring that in to balance the sacral chakra, to ground out our emotional center, to release stuck, stagnant emotion, especially the kind of stuck, stagnant emotion that causes us, thank you for the gifts, my friend, especially stuck, stagnant emotion that causes us suffering, particularly back pain, pain in the hip joints, fears. This also improves your memory because it restores overall vitality, right? It restores prana to our nourishment center. It brings in the prana that we need to nourish our bodies, to allow that energy to move forward into creation, into manifestation, right? You guys are very, very welcome. Again, for those of you who are just joining us, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being. I am your shenanigan shaman, so beware, don't take yourself too seriously here. There's lots of places for that, I promise. And this is our Bhakti Bites class. Bhakti means devotion. So devotion to what? Devotion to self-care. Because you fucking deserve it. Because you've avoided your self-care long enough. And because self-care is not something that we ought to be compartmentalizing, right? So many of us take a little bit of time to go to the gym every day or a couple times a week, and we say, I've done my self-care, right? I go to the gym and work out. Is that the only type of self-care available? No, it's not. And in fact, the gym may offer you a great deal of benefit, but when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the obsessive thoughts about that event that happened 5 years ago won't let you sleep. Maybe you're lucky and you got a 24/7 gym and you can go there. Maybe you've got some equipment at home and you know that movement will help you release these thoughts, but maybe, just maybe, the gym doesn't help you at 3 a.m. when those thoughts are obsessive. True that it happened to you last night. This is the thing for me. I grew up in a great deal of tumultuous situations, right? Let's just say it like that. I sought my healing intentionally very early on. One of the things that I always felt was missing was that it was so compartmentalized. I had 1 or 2 appointments a week, and that is when I spoke to my therapist. But that wasn't my problem. My problem was 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when my heart's racing and my mind won't stop telling me how much I've fucked up. And then by the time I fall asleep and the next morning comes and I've got my appointment, I go, yeah, it was fine. I'm okay. Hey, John. So, what does that have to do with mindfulness? What does that have to do with self-care? Just like you don't drink all of your water for the day in one sitting, or you shouldn't. I mean, I've been known to do it, so, I don't. But ideally, you don't. Ideally, you sprinkle your mindfulness throughout the day. your self-care throughout the day. So in those moments of driving down the highway with your kids in the car and somebody cuts you off and you've got to swerve, right? And you have that rage come up inside of you. In those moments when I need my own patience, when I need to soothe myself, when I need to be the therapist, the self-care guru for me, do I call my therapist? Do I pull over and I call my therapist and I tell her about my road rage? No. I grab a mudra, or I start tapping, or I use a mantra, or I just breathe and remind myself that that rage is not who I really am. And if it's not who I really am, then I have a choice whether to engage with that energy or not. And so I ask myself in that moment, because I have awareness, I have the tools of mindfulness to give me the space within those moments to say, got my kids in the car, really it wasn't a big deal. Maybe they're running to the hospital. Maybe they're frustrated and having their own bad day. Maybe I can cultivate a little bit of compassion for them, and instead of responding with rage and flipping them off and making their day harder and my day harder, maybe I could just send them a little bit of love and say, I hope you're okay. It completely changes my experience. Oh, I'm so grateful, Drew. Yes, so when you work with the sacral chakra, expect tears. Maybe I should have said that. The sacral chakra, again, this is our breadbasket. This is our umbilical cord. This is our sense of safety. This is our sense of being nourished, fulfilled. This is also our space of intimacy. And this energy here moves up into the solar plexus so that we can express our will authentically. So if we have blockages here, attachments here, weights here that are heavy and pulling this energy down, then it's going to struggle to come up. And you may find yourself having trouble authentically being who you want to be, or authentically expressing the feelings that you have, or authentically speaking your truth and your boundaries or your needs. Or let's go even further, we can keep going, or recognizing that those needs are even valid and that those needs can be met with more than just the finite physical world. When we keep stones in our pelvic floor, we weigh ourselves down, and it's much harder to fly when you're that heavy. So when you work with the sacral chakra and tears come up, hey Zach, let them come. Because remember, okay, meditation. We often have this misconception about anything that arises in the body, actually, not just in meditation. We see it a lot in meditation. But as you begin to develop awareness, you start to feel it during your day-to-day. You notice things come up. You feel that feeling of rage or sadness or whatnot, and you're like, oh, I feel it coming before it erupts from me, right? As that happens, I invite you to stop thinking that this is your body attacking you, that this is your mind being out to get you, right? That you're a victim at all. Because just like a belch, just like gas in your gut, your emotions stuck and stored, memory, trauma, feelings, fears, worries, doubts, shames, they all get stuffed in here. And if you're lucky, they'll release themselves. But here's the trick. How often do these things come up, that memory of that traumatic event that happened 5 years ago that still makes you go, what? It comes up, and instead of setting it free and saying, I'm so grateful I'm not there anymore. I'm so proud of you for doing the work to get you here. I love you. You're safe. It's okay to let it go. If I don't let those things float away from me, what do? I grab them as they come up. Why is my brain thinking about it? Why am I thinking about it? God, if I had just done something different in that situation, maybe if I had done this, maybe if I had done that, maybe I should call them and talk to them. Maybe I was the one in the wrong. Maybe it wasn't them who did anything at all, and maybe I should stop stonewalling them, and maybe I should just go back to that relationship. It's probably all my fault. Whoa! That was an emotional belch that was just asking to... And you plucked it from the sky. You plucked it from its release and said, no. Stay there. I feel way more comfortable with all of these butterflies in my gut about whether or not I was right or wrong. Because this is familiar. If I don't have this feeling in my gut, then I'm not safe. Something's not right, right? My brain might be a little amiss. My body might be a little out of alignment. As many of us are. And so when we find ourselves at peace or in stillness, we go, ooh, weird. Ooh, what was that? I don't know if I like that. That was quiet. That was too quiet. Been there. But I invite you to remember that these things during your day are just asking to be released. They're emotional belches. They're memory farts. Okay? Let them go. Yes, sometimes they stink when they come up. Sometimes the emotions are not pretty. Sometimes the memories are disgusting. But if they make you feel so terrible, if they bring with them such feelings of bleh, why not let them go? Why not just take a chance just for today? You don't have to do it forever. I invite you just for today. That when these things come up in your mind, in your heart, in your body, when something's stuck, when you have that familiar ache in your low back, remember the body stores all of these things. Most of these things end up stored in the body, and a lot of these physical pains and physical ailments we have are connected to the energy in the emotional body and the mental body. And I say that from personal experience. I say that from getting diagnosis on bullshit, fibromyalgia and all these other things. And you know how I healed them? Mindfulness, awareness, presence, patience. I am still learning patience, acceptance, surrender. One of the most difficult things that we will learn in our existence is genuine surrender. Not out of fear, not out of fawning, right? Not fight, flight, fawn, flight or fawn. No, but surrender out of trust, out of acceptance, out of love. Surrender with confidence that you are one with the flow of everything. And this flow of everything does not mean to push you down into the rocks. It is you who is clinging to things and swimming backwards and doing all of these things. The universe knows where it's going. The river knows how to find the ocean. If you want to go home to the ocean, stop swimming upstream. We do so much to create our suffering. And we look at those who no longer suffer and we say, gosh, you're an enigma. You're amazing. But you're special. I can't do what you can do. Bullshit. Baloney. You fucking can. I'm so sorry that anybody, that somebody, that so many told you that you can't, but you can. You want to hear something? You so can that these tools that I'm giving you, they're so powerful that the social media things are taking them down, guys. Every single time. Over the years, I have come onto the great wide world web, whatever it's called, and started to share these things and consistently started to share these things. My content gets taken down. My content, I had a realization last night. Okay, I think the reason that they are calling my content QR code content is because it is putting out codes that the AI can read. That's my only explanation. Why would AI be taking, go look at my content? I have had multiple strikes, multiple videos removed from FYP over and over and over again. Videos I've created, videos of me doing energy work, videos of me sharing mudras, videos of me doing mindfulness, and they are taken down for QR content. And I say that's a bunch of baloney. There's literally no QR. And they're obviously not like really, really shitty things, right? Why? Because it's that powerful. Why? Tell me why, when you search yoga on most platforms, what do you find? You don't find mindfulness. You don't find the wisdoms of the Vedic practice, the Vedic science. You don't find the ancient traditions that have been healing us for so long. No, you find a bunch of bullshit. Yes, exactly. Why is it only that you see? Because these platforms are by design. They are designed, curated, cultivated for you. And as a creator who shares mostly these things and a lot of shenanigans, I can tell you that every time I start sharing, they start taking it down. They start hiding it. They start telling me it's not allowed. I've broken community guidelines countless times by sharing mudras and chakras and mantras and mindfulness tools with you guys. That's how powerful they are. Why? Because when you have your awareness, when you find your seat of awareness, when you find the captain within, when you recognize that this life force, this breath, this is God that flows through everything. This is the entire universe breathing through you. That's pretty fucking powerful. Your authenticity is the purest expression of divinity as it moves through you. There are people, energies, powers that don't want you to be that. Of course not. That's really hard to manipulate somebody who's paying attention. So they give you a million other things to take away your attention. Be the anomaly. Be the change. Be crazy enough to let go of a random trigger that comes up. Moblin, I like your username. Welcome, hang out, come around. So guys, I have a YouTube channel. It's at Move with Change. That is where I am storing all of my replays and most of my content. But the place that you're gonna get the real meat of everything that I teach is on our Discord. If you want to find the Discord is on Patreon. There's a link for it. Patreon.com, Move with Change. I am Move with Change on pretty much all the platforms, but I'm telling you again and again and again, if you want to interact with me, if you want to interact with the platform, with the content, with the classes, with the information, if you want to ask questions directly without the comments getting filtered, come to the Discord. We have a free courtyard in the Discord. It's called our CAYA courtyard. CAYA stands for Come As You Are. Because you deserve a safe space to show up exactly as you are. Because when we live in a world that does not encourage authenticity, it's important to have a safe space to practice that authenticity. And our community there, our CAYA community there on our Discord is that. Now, right, you get to our Discord, and then inside of the courtyard is our Sangha, is our temple. The CAYA Sangha requires a level of membership, but I have multiple levels of membership. Remember, guys, the whole point here, if I could share this stuff with you completely for free and be able to still pay my bills and feed my dog and my kid and all that stuff, I would do it. But, unfortunately, at this point, I have to have some kind of monetary exchange for it. And until I can work to a place where I don't have to do that, I will keep working in that direction. But for now, I've created multiple levels of membership, so you guys have lots of options as to how deep into mindfulness you want to go. And all of those options, all of those tiers are explained on the Patreon page. You can get to the Discord for free. There's a lot of free stuff, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of community space happening there in the Discord completely for free. Once you get there, if you want to get into other levels, you can also get to those other levels from there. If you have any questions, yeah, Holly, right? It's funny. It is. I've been doing this work since I was little. I wanted to be a nun as a little girl, and so started my spiritual journey really early, but have had this really interesting experience most of my life of feeling like I was talking from behind a glass wall, trying to share energy work, trying to talk about yoga, trying to talk about mindfulness, trying to talk about the way that we can change our experience on a quantum level simply through breath. Holy shit. If I bring my locus of awareness, we think of our awareness as being something that sits right here, and it really doesn't. Because think about where your awareness goes during the day, right? You run off to the past, you run off to somebody else's brain sitting right next to you. Your awareness actually moves all over the place. When your belly hurts, your gut hurts, your awareness moves down to your gut, right? Your awareness is very malleable. And so we need to be mindful with our awareness, because otherwise it becomes a monkey without a leash, right? And goes running all over the place. Gremlins! We end up with gremlins. When we started with mugwai. So, cultivate mugwai. Let the gremlins run off and let them go. Let them die. Bye-bye. When those gremlins pop up, let them go. Because you are your own guru. Guru means that which leads us from darkness to light. And no matter what you learn, no matter what you receive outside of yourself, you are the last one who has to make the decision. You are the one who has to, yes, you can sit in meditation with a teacher, but can the teacher make you bring your awareness back again and again? No, that's only you. And so no matter what you receive from anyone else, from anywhere else, ultimately you are the one who has to lead you from darkness to light, who has to choose in the moment when that trigger comes up to let it go instead of attaching to it. All of those old stories, every time this rage comes up or this sadness comes up, it's, see, I'm not lovable. And then we store it back in our heart, and our heart shrinks a little bit more from the weight. And it comes up again when somebody pokes it. It doesn't come up again to remind you that you're unlovable. It comes up again to say, please let me go. I don't want to be unlovable. I love you so much. I love you for every moment of your experience, every high and every low, every fear, every joy, every doubt, every tiny moment of shame and guilt. If I could come in with my witch's broom and sweep it all away, I would. But the truth is, if I come clean house for you, you don't learn how to do it for yourself. If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. So here, mudras, mindfulness tools, the gifts of my journeys, of my 40 years almost. I'm not 40 yet. I'm really waiting for it. I'm really excited about it. I'll be there in September. For almost 40 years of searching for answers and for healing. Here. Take it. Because it is only you who can use it. You are not as powerless as they tell you you are. You are not as small as you think you are. New again, I truly believe that knowledge begins with not knowing but never ends. I have come to understand the acquisition or search of knowledge, right, as not a process of acquiring things from outside of myself, but a process of remembering the way I relate to things that I may have forgotten. I spent more than 20 years in college, 12 years, sorry. I spent more than 20 years studying human development and wellness. I spent more than 12 of those in university and official study. And the more I read, the more I studied, the more I learned, the more I filled my brain with all the knowledge, the less I felt like I knew. And I know that's classic cliche, right? But here's the next step. Here's the next part of that unfinished cliche. Is it's not about knowing and remembering everything that has passed through these years. It is about distilling it down into being, not just knowing. It is about pulling it into the body and becoming experience, dipping it into experience so you can experience the knowing, the understanding. I think about it, I can learn about it, I can even know about it. But until I understand it, it does very little for me but take up space in my brain. And mind you, by the time you pull it down into understanding, it no longer resides here, does it? I don't have a need for remembering it because my body and being have integrated it. And it becomes second nature. It becomes part of who I am. Or at least it becomes part of what I do, right? Because who I am is still never any layer of this physical reality. That was a good one, Chelsea. We are going through a collective awakening. The reason so many, and maybe that's why you're here, the reason so many of us are experiencing things that we never have before. Suddenly you're realizing, you're noticing your triggers, you're hearing yourself from somewhere else, right? Your dreams are more vivid. You feel things on another level. It's because we're in the quickening. I've been calling it the quickening. What used to be a very matter-of-fact physical world that we operated in is now turning into a very spiritual world, layer, frequency that we are moving into. And so for us to continue to thrive, to move out of survival and into thrival, yes, it's my new word, move out of survival and into thrival, you don't need to do anything. You can do whatever you'd like to do. I have come to understand that it's important, if you would like to lift into that next frequency, that we release our attachments to all of these weighted things, all of these stones. That relationship that taught me that I was just a commodity. That voice in my head telling me that I will never be lovable. The need to attach myself to my physical manifestations of things, my accomplishments, my need to attach myself to accomplishments to feel safe and good and right. They are so heavy. They are so heavy. They are so heavy here. And it makes my back hurt. And during my cycle, my cramps are, holy fuck. like kidney stones, right? Or your stones in your urinary tract. Like, that shit hurts. Literal stones. These are energetic stones that weigh down your energy body and keep you from floating on the river of life. Thrival! Thanks, Chelsea. Oh, messy van. Okay, collective is pushing us for all to be our true authentic selves, but it's deep figuring who that is. Okay, so this has been my favorite part of this process, is asking myself, because I've asked myself that question for so many years and toiled over that question for so many years, but who the hell is it? I'm supposed to be authentically me, but every day I feel like I show up as the mostly me I can fucking be, right? But then over the years I find out that some of those me's were influenced by others and other things, and they're not really who I want to be me. So I start adjusting and I start filtering and but then I realized that I can change me. So if I can change and adjust me, then who the fuck really is me? Is there a me that can't be changed and can't be just adjusted and whatnot? Yeah. There is. It is there. But it whispers to you. It does not yell. It does not scream for your attention. It does not jump up and down in front of you, saying, here I am, here I am. No. It says, be with me. Be with me. Just be with me. And so, whispers sweet nothings for sure. Yes. So, when we are so used to being in the middle of a circus, it can be really difficult to know how to hear the whispers. So don't expect for it to happen overnight. Here's the truth. You're not going to find that person overnight. It's rare that we get glimpses. And occasionally you might get a glimpse, right? We might have these awakening moments and suddenly I'm like, oh, wait, that's who I am. That's it. But the actual embodying of it takes time. This is the nature of our universe. We are manifest. We are divine union manifest. We are the creative universe that has this illusion of direction of time. Why? So that we can go through the process. So that we can experience the process, the movement of time, and the building of these things. The process of creation. How beautiful that we get to be part of this experience of watching creation come into creation, manifest all around us, right? So how do you find it? How do you find something when you don't know what it looks like, when you don't know what it feels like, when you don't know what it sounds like, when you don't know how big it is, right? This is a riddle. How do you find something you don't know what it looks like? By following the breadcrumbs. Hey, Tevo? Te-Evo. Thank you, guys. Follow the breadcrumbs, right? Okay, so what does that look like? What do you mean? What do you mean follow the breadcrumbs? Come on. Follow the breadcrumbs. Yes, go within. Yes, absolutely go within, Joe, but sometimes within has a great din within, right? Sometimes it's a fucking circus in there. Sometimes it's chaos in there, right? Many years ago, I realized that my inner world was more like a pirate ship because there's often mutiny. They are pretty crazy up in there. But the real me is not the pirates on this ship. The real me is not the ship. The real me is the captain. How the fuck do I find the captain if all of my pirates are screaming, telling me they're the captain? Yes, with mindfulness. Yes, absolutely. With meditation, yes, with these spiritual practices. But let me tell you how to do it in the moment, day to day, because Bhakti bites, because bite size, because beard snacks, okay? Mindfulness, true manifestation, growth, the things you really want, getting you down that path. What does it happen? It happens in one fucking step at a time. You don't run down there. You don't just get transported down there. This is the nature of our reality. One breadcrumb at a time leads you to your authentic self. So in each moment, all you ask yourself in every single moment for every single thing, try it. Try it just for a day. Ask yourself, is this for me or is it not for me? Ooh, you have an inner clown new again? I have an inner clown too. I don't know if she's got a name. Yes, new again. I heard someone say they told me to get my ducks in a row, but there's squirrels at a rave. So many of us have gremlins, right? Gremlins, mind monkeys, squirrels at a rave, circus clowns. Like, when we're not used to asking the mind and the body for stillness, and when it's used to being the captain and running your life, it's very attached to that job. It wants to keep you safe. It's actually has your best interest in mind, even if it's not very good at taking care of your best interest because it's all that it knows. But who knows where we're headed? Who knows how to navigate us there? Who knows how to get there? Who knows how to adjust the vehicle? Because this is the vehicle. This is the ship. This is like letting the brain drive is like letting the steering wheel drive the car. And we just, it doesn't work yet because we don't have automatic vehicles. Maybe later I'll have to change the analogy. Yes, there are so many things that are breadcrumbs. But in each moment, ask yourself, is this for me or is it not for me? That's it. Is it for me or is it not for me? So many of us are so used to picking up shit that is not for us. I know I said it yesterday on Wednesday, but I'll say it again because it cracks me up every single time. Because when you think of it like this, it seems silly. Why would you stay in a relationship that's not working for you? When it is basically like going to somebody else's birthday party, opening one of their gifts, and putting on their sweater. The sweater is 6 sizes too big for me and totally not a color that I like at all. The design is funky. It's a band I don't even know, right? It's not for me. It's not my gift. But y'all, we're out here going to other people's birthday parties and picking up gifts and going, ooh, I can wear it. So I guess it's for me, right? If it goes on my body, right? If the sweater goes on me, then it's for me. No, you wouldn't do that when you're out shopping. When you're out buying yourself some clothing, you'd pick what fits you. What actually fits you, what feels good on you, what makes you feel good when you go out. What doesn't make you feel uncomfortable about yourself. Maybe even brings you a little bit of joy because it's that color that you love, or the feeling of it, or the weight of it. This is how we know things are for us. And we recognize that process when it's outside of us, but we forget that process when it's inside of us. It is that simple. Is it for me or is it not for me? That too, Kevin. A lot of us do that too. We don't know what we don't know. We can be manipulated by situations, by other people. There's a lot that happens outside of ourselves. And as we're moving through this process of coming home to ourselves, it is varying layers. It is by layers that we release our attachment to the emotions and the drama and the circus and the shit that goes on out here, and we start to come in. And the further in we come, the further in we arrive, the less attachment we have to these things, and the more we are able to perceive. And this is the truth. When I look back on the choices I made in my life, relationships, situations, jobs, whatever, I can look back and I can love myself and laugh with myself and say, man, you didn't know what you were doing. I was doing the best that I could with what I had, as we all are. There is no space for shame or guilt in that. Just the same that you look at a child who is learning to grow or learning to walk, and you don't shame them or guilt them for falling down. They're learning to walk. You are learning to love. You are learning to be. You are learning to expand and experience. You are finding your way home to yourself. But the only way that you can experience coming home is if you leave home first. Thank you, guys. There's no opposite. There's the illusion of opposite. And to truly come home to ourselves, we have to recognize, we have to get past that illusion. One of the barriers that keeps us from coming home to ourselves is the illusion of opposition and separation and isolation and compartmentalization, right? These are all the illusions that keep us home from ourselves. It is only once we understand and discover the unity that resonates throughout everything and align ourselves with that. That is where you find home. Home is right underneath your nose. Home is a beard snack. Home is right here. Snack's right here. You're hungry. You need nourishment. You need a safe space to be. It's already right here. But we are so busy looking all the way out there because that's what we've been told. That's what we've been taught, that everything we need is way out here. And if I keep working for it, if I keep fighting for it, if I keep searching for it, maybe someday I'll get lucky and find it. It's a fucking travesty. I can't, it makes me angry. Somewhere inside, my little Virgo heart goes, I can't believe somebody fucked everybody up like that. I can't believe they just deny you your powerful truth. She's so mad about it. So she's here offering free classes and offering, a free Discord and offering layers of mindfulness membership to our Sangha. Why did I create a Sangha? Why did I create an online mindfulness community? Because one of my most loved teachers, Thich Nhat Hanh, reminds us that the next coming of the Buddha or the Enlightened One is not likely to be a single person, but is more likely to be a Sangha, a community of people practicing mindfulness together. That's what a Sangha is a community of people practicing mindfulness together regularly. That is what we do in our Sangha. Yes, we have these free classes externally, and if you'd like to chat more about the content and all that and get some cool resources, we have a free Discord that you can get into. That's the CAYA community. That's the CAYA courtyard. Now, once you're in the courtyard, you'll notice there's a temple. Within that temple, we do deep dive mindfulness sessions. Last week, we learned about Durga Pranayama. Each week, we have different themes. I also do astrology, so I base the themes each week of our practice sessions along with our Bhakti Bites and Tiny Yoga. So it's all works together into one big helping, one big heaping of mindfulness served up in little tapas plates, right? Because they're more digestible, because they're easier to assimilate when they're in little pieces. Thanks, friend. I'm in Oregon too. New again. So one of the things that I said to myself when I first started the Sangha idea, this need to develop this online community, and do so with the kind of playfulness that I bring, right? I'm your shenanigan shaman. For those of you who are new here, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I am a movement facilitator, movement in breath, body, and being, and I am your shenanigan shaman, because over the years, I have recognized that one of the most powerful tools in my toolbox is playfulness, is curiosity and willingness, is laughter and surrender to whatever comes up, however it comes up. And what I didn't like about going to other mindfulness places was that, do you know there's literally a yoga pose called wind release, right? There's literally a yoga pose called wind release. And if you are really into your yoga flow, it's going to balance you out. And I have never been to a yoga studio where you could fart in the yoga class. Never. So, I created the CAYA philosophy, CAYA yoga, created the CAYA space, CAYA stands for come as you are. Because even in the middle of meditation, sometimes the gas in your gut, the thoughts, right? The thought gas also manifests as physical gas. And the last thing I want you to do is to store more of it in there. Better out than in. With your farts, with your burps, with the obsessive thoughts, with the fears, with the anxieties. When they come up, remember, when they rise to the surface, when they bubble up, they are simply asking to be seen, heard, and let go. Do you think something as fluid as anger? Anger moves such beautiful ways, does it not? All of that fire energy, anger has such force. Do you think it wants to be stored in your liver? Do you really think it's enjoying being in your gut? Do you really think that that fire in your throat when you're holding back this shame and whatnot, that you can't speak up for yourself, whatever it is, do you think it wants to be stored inside of your body? Do you think energy that big that you can feel literally pushing on your energetic edges, you think it wants to be stuck? No. Think of it that way. You are doing it a favor. If you struggle with self-worth such that you can't feel good about saying, well, I'm doing this for me. Okay, do it for your emotions. Because those little sweet babies do not want to be stuck inside your body. And when you keep them stuck inside your body, what do? They get mad, and they get louder, and they bang on the edges, they bang on the walls harder and harder and harder and harder until someday, if you've been really good about storing it away, someday when you finally open that door, you may find a monster there. And it may be so scary to look at. It may be the scary thing that has been influencing you for many, many years. As it gets in there bigger and scarier, you are so not lovable. I can't believe that you would even think anybody would feel that way about you. You know those feelings? When that little insidious voice that used to be like a, ugh, you suck, is now a big, looming shadow that darkens every moment of every day. I've been there. That is attachment. That is weight. That can be released. Meeting me is the last person I want to meet, right, John? There are so many times we say, I love myself. But when you ask yourself what parts of you are there to love, and you start looking at yourself, you might find yourself going, no, I mean, I love myself, but not that part. Obviously, I don't love the part of me that lies when I'm feeling anxious. But my love, the part of you that lies when you're feeling anxious, needs your love and patience and attention and compassion. And in giving that to that part of yourself, what do you find? It no longer has the need to lie when you're feeling anxious, because it trusts you to keep it safe. Let it go. Just for today. Just for today, do the radical thing that when a feeling comes up, when you feel justified, when you want to yell at somebody, when you want to cry about something, when you want to say something nasty to somebody, right? Let it go. Let it go. Maybe some tears fall. Maybe your brain mumbles about, cuss words and whatnot. But when that feeling comes up, I invite you to be with it in the moment, to give it your awareness, to give it your love. You can even say to it, oh, I love you. And then let it be whatever it needs to be so that it can be gone. Ooh, what if what stored them is who I am? So, John, I like your question. When we are developing, hey Byron, I love you. When we are developing the first 7 years of our life, the brain remains in the theta brainwaves. That is the dream time brainwaves. That is the unconscious brainwaves that the adult brain drops into when you're sleeping. Up until the age of 7, you are not conscious, my friend. Not completely. You're present, yeah. But you're pure energy flow. You are pure divinity manifesting itself into this reality. And it takes up to 22-ish years for that process to finish developing. Social emotional body, physical body, mental body, intellect, prefrontal cortex. This thing does not come online. This thing right here is responsible for our reflective higher thinking, for our ability to consider whether or not a decision is a good one or not, right? Why do children and teenagers not have the capacity to have any freaking forethought and do these absurd things that we go, what were you thinking? And they go, I don't know. I mean, I see it was stupid now, but I didn't even think about it. Because they literally don't have the physical capacity for it. They don't have the physical capacity for it. Now, that's not to mean they're dumb, right? That's mean they're developing. We all went through this same process. It took 20-some years for your physical, mental, emotional, energetic body to all develop. Yeah, the chakras develop after we're born as well, in that same time frame. And so you ask yourself, what if the things that were built to, let's say, okay, let's take a step back. In that process, what are you building? You're building your meat body. You're building your ego body. You're building your physical body. You're building your ego body. You're building your mental body, your assumptions about the world, your understandings and knowledge about the world, right? Your feelings about the world, your reactions and triggers about the world. Pretty much all of this gets developed to some degree from an unconscious state, in an unconscious state, up until your early 20s. And then it's as if you're given the you is given the keys to that pirate ship. It's pirate ship for me. Here you go. It's yours now. And when my prefrontal cortex comes online, I, for the first time in my life, have the ability to then do a walkthrough of my pirate ship that I just received as my 22-year-old, 23-year-old, right? Thank you, Byron. Gift. Thank you. Cool. Let me go check it out. What have we built? So you go in and let's shift the analogy to a house, right? Because I talk about this coming home to myself. Well, I come back in after those 23 or so years and I go, dang, who decided to use quicksand instead of concrete for the foundation? Whose idea was that? And you might find a little carpenter in here, or a little clown, or a little shenanigan monkey, whatever in here go, oh, that was me. I didn't feel safe in the world, so I thought maybe we shouldn't build anything here ever. So I just used quicksand when we were building the foundation. That's cool, right, guys? I didn't think you'd notice. Guilty, right? But again, instead of chiding that part of yourself, we don't chide that part of ourselves. We look at it and we go, you know what? It's okay. You were literally an infant because your foundation, your root chakra develops in the first year of life. And whatever happens to you in that time frame, your body, mind, spirit, all of these things adjust to that. Everything was built in response to internal and external stimuli as a means to keep you safe, as a means to build this house, this temple structure to house your divinity, to house you, the God particle, the oneness, the unity that exists in all of us, that spark of light in your heart that never completely goes out. It will never go out. And I am so sorry if you feel like yours has gone out. I am here to tell you it has not. It's just hiding. It's just hiding under layers and layers and layers and layers of things that are intended to keep it safe. You are not your mind. My favorite way to say it really is just that the mind is the steering wheel, right? The body is the ship. But I am the captain. I have many crewmates on my ship, right? Ego characters that I have developed over the years to help me navigate this world. But I am not the steering wheel of my ship. I am not the ship itself. I am the navigator. I am the captain. And the captain has the maps. The captain knows where we're going. The captain knows how to steer the ship. My ego does not. My crewmates, my crew members do not know how to expertly steer and navigate the ship. And, sorry, I gotta plug in my computer here. So if you've been allowing your crew members to drive your ship, as many of us have been, then you may feel like you get, driven into the rocks a bunch, or like somebody's out to get you because they keep driving you directly into a storm. Why? Because when you were learning how to deal with storms, when you were that young, you were learning how to deal with storms when they came through your life. Someone inside of you decided, we're going to run straight into that bitch. I'm not afraid of storm. I'm running after it. I'm running into it. As we do as children, being silly and ridiculous and young and small and adorable and unconscious. So once you get the keys to that temple, once you get the keys to your pirate ship or your Corvette or whatever this thing is for you, whatever your vessel, your vehicle is, it's your job to renovate, to restore it. It isn't who you are. It is the container for who you are. And you had only a small part. You had only a part to play in building it. So to be honest, here's a sunburnt Chevrolet. Nice. I needed a pirate ship because I started doing the work. I got diagnosed as bipolar in my early 20s. I'm also a theater buff. I'm also a theater kid and a poet, and a storyteller. So I started writing. I started playing with these characters that it started with my classic angel and devil on my ship, on my shoulders, right? We all know that sort of thing. And I attached them to, I noticed where they would manifest. When I needed defending, right? This one was able to show up and defend me, even if it was with really shitty tactics. And this was my damsel in distress. She felt all the things and had all the heart, but what a softie! And I ended up developing my relationship with them. And when I developed my relationship with these two, I realized that they had their own little minions, right? And I was like, oh shit, there's more than just these two? Because there's also the person who shows up to work when I have to be, professional. There's the defend me, there's the damsel in distress, but who's there when I have to show up to dinner with my parents and mask? We have all these different masks that we use to navigate our life. Poets, pirates, and wizards. Poets, pirates, and witches. Joey, your vehicle is the Holy Spirit. He's the lamp of your feet. You lean not on your own understanding. That's one way to look at it. That's one way to go about it. I have found for me that the analogy that works, right? We all have our own analogies. Whatever works for you works for you. You are your own guru. So your understanding has to be distilled through your filters. Thank you, Zoe. And it's not my job to change your opinion or ideas about anything. I am here sharing with you guys the really fucking cool shit that I have found in almost 40 years of searching for myself, for my God, for joy, for home. Home. Okay, so I have gone far over what, like the Merkaba in mysticism? Yeah. Well, I mean, there's that stuff. But like I said, my analogy in meditation and in my practices, I have found my connection to divinity within me. I have found my body to be a vessel for that divinity to flow through me, a conduit, just like metal for an electrical current, right? We are made up of mostly water, so we are very good conductors of electrical current, of frequency, of currents. We have an energetic body that moves around us and interacts with the energetic currents, energetic frequencies in this entire universe. So for my understanding, that is God itself. Yes, we can use these effigies and representations that help us understand and compartmentalize the idea of something that is so infinite and expansive that it is everything. It's not that we are the separate, isolated children of God. That is this dualistic idea. That is the dualistic universe where we are separated from. But to truly come home and understand divinity, God, we must see beyond the separation and understand that we are already in union. We already are a manifestation of the union of creation, of all the universe. And we are a manifestation of that divinity having an experience. Having an experience in an illusionary, finite world. It's really cool. It's fun. But it's not ultimately who we are. I am not this body. You're very welcome, John. So I have a very close personal relationship with Jesus. Like I said in the beginning or earlier, I wanted to be a nun. I grew up Catholic and I wanted to be a nun. So my spiritual journey started very, very early. And it was Christ who showed me that. It was Christ who showed me where the connection to divinity resides within me. It is Christ who showed me the light that exists in everyone's heart. It is Christ that taught me about the flow of the river around me, the soup, so to speak, that we live in, that is God. Not this effigy that was painted to look like somebody different, to look like whoever it is that people want it to look like for them. Still haven't felt that universal union yet, Kevin? There are so many ways. My brain was like, well, my brain started yelling all these like different mindfulness practices. One of my favorite practices. Hey Diana, one of the really nice practices that I like to use that's really simple is to use the breath to represent this divine union. And as you breathe, just visualize, right? Imagine or think about, however it is that works for you. Sometimes we can't visualize, so just thinking about it is fine. The fact that when you exhale, right, the trees are inhaling. And as the trees exhale, so you inhale. And it is that kind of cycle. That is a representation of union. And when we sit in meditation and just sit with that process, inhaling the trees and allowing them to inhale us, exhaling us, inhaling the trees. It can be one of the many ways to tap into that feeling. Yeah, Byron, Western culture is hard when there's no healing priest class in our culture. Yeah. Creation isn't evil. There is no evil. There is no evil in any of creation. There is opposites, duality, darkness, light, above, below, in and out. There is the constant flow of creation as it manifests into birth and life, and then culminates, blossoms into end of life and death and rebirth. It is only when we lay judgment, cast judgment. It is only when we attach ourselves to expectation and how we think things should be, which I find really audacious, to be such a limited little creature, and then to think that I know better than God, I know better than the universe how the universe should be. I should judge. I can judge from my little tiny corner of perception that is extremely limited. I am the person to judge whether that is right or wrong for anybody, or whether that is evil, good, or bad. These are things we attach to. These are things that we attach to when we are seeking answers, when we don't understand, when we need understanding. Hey Frankie, what's the most used mudra to meditate with? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can actually answer that one. Thank you for asking me that question, because now I gotta ask myself that question. I don't think there's a favorite one, because I use the mudras that are the ones I need in the moment, right? Because there are so many mudras. Yeah. Oh yeah, John. No. I like the discussion, right? That's why I have comments on when I can have them on. Normally during the week, guys, I keep all the chat in Discord, but I'm going to start doing Saturdays with open chat. So if you would like to engage during the week, as well as get resources and whatnot like that during the week, come find us on the Discord. Again, patreon.com @Move with Change on the Discord. I am on pretty much all the social platforms @Move with Change, but I do not interact with most of the platforms. I am pretty much always on the Discord. Why? Because the platforms have been taking down my content. Because the platforms see this stuff, these tools, these mindfulness things, as they recognize their power, and so they hide them. Hey, new again. We have the Discord is open. The Discord is open. The Discord is available. You can find the Discord on my Patreon page. There's a free link to get into the Discord to the CAYA community. If you want to get into the Sangha, there are levels of membership. You can find them on the Patreon as well, or you can just join the Discord for free. And then if you decide you want to get in later, you can also find those memberships level as well. Yes, and that's what, Frankie, that's the point of mudras. Sometimes you notice one element tends to be imbalanced, so you use a certain mudra more. Yes, that's why I like mudras, is because you literally need nothing else than your hands. Sometimes just one hand, right? Sometimes just your tongue for a mudra. Mudras are gestures, and they can be more than just the hands, right? You can have hand mudras, you can have full asanas, or essentially mudras of the body, but you can have tongue mudras, eye mudras. Yeah. No, you did not, New again. I am also fluent in American Sign Language, but I'm a little bit rusty. So, come join us on the Discord. Thank you, guys. find me on the Discord. Go to the Patreon page, join the Discord, get in on the shenanigans, get in on this safe space as we're building this mindfulness community, get in on all these resources. I'm dropping recipes in there, mudra stuff. I'm dropping, I've got a blog in there. We've got a 24/7 dance hall. We're working on putting together a bazaar for people who want to share what they do, their services, their business stuff, and all that. Have a good day. So, Frankie, did you see the mudra we have for the week? I'll give you guys the mudra, and then I got to go because we have group coaching here in 15 minutes. For our Sangha members, for our Sangha stewards and above, we have group coaching here in 15 minutes. The link is in the Discord, and you have to have a membership level to get the link to get on the Zoom call. So if you'd like to join us for our group coaching session today in 15 minutes, you can pop over to Patreon, get that membership, and get yourself in the Discord and join us on that Zoom call. The mudra for this week, one last time, is the Makara mudra. You can go to YouTube at Move a Change and find all the replays there for all of the mudras that I teach. But the Makara mudra is done like so. You take your left hand, drop your ring finger to touch your thumb. This is the Prithivi mudra, or the earth gesture. Okay, so one hand, your left hand, is the earth gesture, and your right hand, you extend your hand, flat palm, fingers upright, extend your thumb out, and then you bring the thumb to the space between the crook between your pinky and your ring finger. Gently rest your thumb in your palm, and yes, and then allow your right hand to rest, or your left hand to rest in your right. Sorry. Okay, so you got your Prithivi mudra here, or your earth gesture here in your left hand. And then you rest that into your right hand with your thumb tucked between your pinky and your ring finger. There is a pressure point here on your hand that helps with the kidneys and the pancreas. That's what this is doing here. But again, we use no more than the weight of a nickel. No more than the weight of a nickel when we're holding our mudras, because just like an electrical connection, all you need is barely to touch and we get the energy flowing, right? And we want to sit for at least 5 minutes with our mudras. This mudra, you can allow your fingers to stay out flat, or you can allow them to gently curve here, and then rest it at your sacral chakra. So that's between your pubic bone and your belly button. And today, we did a really lovely meditation. We thanked our belly button a whole bunch, so it's a really lovely one. If you'd like to go find the replay, again, that's on YouTube at Move with Change. Do me a favor, guys. Please go follow me on YouTube. I'm trying to get up to 500 followers over there. We are almost to 200, I think, which is pretty good for just having it open for a little bit. So if you could go follow me over there, please. That way you can get notifications when I post replays and things like that. Sorry, friend, I don't go live with people I don't know. I see that you follow me, and that's awesome. Thank you. But send me a message about going live, and I'm happy to talk about going live together another time. So, did it say hello? You understand, New Again. You understand. So, Frankie, this mudra, it balances the kidneys and the pancreas. It nourishes the hair and nails. It releases stored emotions in the belly and the sacral chakra, and it revitalizes our energy. Remember that this, again, is the umbilical cord to the universe. So we receive a lot of our nourishment that we can turn into, transmute into creation, into will, into action, into voice, into connection, into being, right? So we go down here and we balance. This mudra balances the elements of water, of earth and water, okay? And is a representation of that, again, balancing of energies, of opposites energies, of a masculine and feminine energies. So we have, what else? Oh, you asked about affirmations. You can simply use I release, because this is very much about releasing stored emotions and receiving, making space for more energy and more nourishment. But I like to use it with the Bij mantra for the sacral chakra of VAM, VAM. And because it's the chakras, I repeat it 7 times for 7 rounds. So that was hi 2-year-old. Namaste. VAM, yes. So remember that the each chakra has its own Bij mantra. You can go check out the meditation on YouTube for the replay for today if you would like to get our meditation. But basically, we did VAM 7 times for 7 rounds, and then released the mudra, and then sat with the mudra and thanked our belly button. Actually, is what we did. We sat with the mudra and thanked our belly button for receiving all of that divine energy as we went VAM, 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 VAM. Remember too, lastly, we spend a lot of time focusing on the front of our energy body. But the chakras also have a back. First of all, your energy body is a big Taurus around you, right? Shit, I gotta go, guys. But let me give you this. Okay, the sacral chakra has a back to it. So this, working on the front, working on this, thank you, friend, working on this chakra is going to relieve low back pain. This is going to help clear away stuff that's stuck in the back chakra. So the other thing too is when you are sitting with this chakra, if you're a visual person and you can use visualization, visualize that this energy is moving out, clearing out of both the front and the back of the chakra. It's directly below the front, behind the front of the chakra, which again is between the belly button and the pubic bone. Okay. Hey Trinity, how are you? Yay, Frankie! Frankie, I have to tell you that Frankie was my self-given nickname when I was a kid. I wanted to be Frankie really, really, really bad. And my pen name now is Francis Adam, so I write under Frankie. Yeah, so hi, Frankie. Hi, soul sister. Hi, soul friend. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to go. I've got group coaching happening here in a couple of minutes. So if you'd like to join us on the call, go over to the Patreon or go into the Discord and I can help you get set up real quick. And then I will see you on Zoom. Remember that replays for all of these classes are on YouTube. Please go follow me on YouTube. Yeah, if you want real content, if you want to interact with this stuff more, go to the Discord. And the link for that to get in for free is on the Patreon. If you want to get in deeper, you'll have to grab a membership level. But feel free to stop in for free and see what's going on and chat about it, and then pick your membership level. Okay, I love you guys so, so, so much. Go on thriving. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Messi. Okay. Well, I won't. I'll keep it a secret, okay? All right, guys. I love you. I'm going to shut down all the streams in all the places. Remember that I am always live on TikTok, YouTube, and Kick, unless one of the platforms decides to hide my content again, because they like to do that. They're like, oh, you're meditating today? No, we can't have you doing that. We want people looking at the weird bendy yoga videos instead. Okay, I love you guys so much.